Good evening, and it's 10 o'clock here. And I'll tell you what, it's nearly another day over. Who's been watching the England game, eh? Women, yeah, done well, didn't they? Yeah, lots of cancellations and stuff, but there you go. Anyway, um, I, it's Angela B Spragg supposed to be on, and she will be on in a minute. She's probably, doing a zippy and stuff, and curling her hair or what she's doing, you know what I mean? But she will be with you in a mo. Um, so anyway, how's everybody's Friday? Another weekend. Not long now till Christmas, eh? Yeah, please start your Christmas shopping. We haven't. No, no, no. We do it last. Always do Christmas shopping. Well, my wife does. She always does it last. So, but we haven't done nothing. Nothing, nothing. So anyway, if you're listening, wherever you are in the world, welcome. We're just waiting for Angela, and as soon as she comes on, um, I'll be grateful. So yeah, so she won't be long now, and we'll be able to. So if you're listening, tell me who you are, where you come from. I know it's 10 o'clock at night, and I know you're shattered, but you're listening to me for a minute. But it will be Angela, I promise. We're just waiting for her. She's probably got lost somewhere, trying to find a gin bottle. She loves her gin, you know what I mean? And on Friday night, I know she likes to have a drink. And I must admit, you know, you've got to give her the benefit of the doubt. She is getting old. And anyway, she's probably like falling down or something, having a few bottles of gin, falling down the floor, you know. Um, but there you go. She'll be with us in a minute. Hopefully, she will be here. Hopefully, I gave the right thing out. You never know. Oh yes. So we're still waiting, and if you do see Angela out there, could you let me know, guys, um, and tell her that that she's got to do a show. No skiving off going to the pub. You know what I mean? It's really bad, really, isn't it? Yeah. Last time I heard, she had a bit of a gin bottle in one hand and a Captain Morgan bottle in the other hand. So, but there you go. Don't know, do you? So anyway, we're open. So anyway, how is everybody? Tell me where you come from, who you are. Hello, Gemma O'Neill. Hello, hello. We are waiting for Angela Big Spragg. She should be here in a minute, but you know what she's like. Always, turning up late, fixing her hair, fixing her nails. I tell you what, I saw her the other day. Do you want to? She was on she was on the curb. I promise you guys, I will find you a video, a picture of her in a wee bit. Yeah, I will. Yes. Like, be quiet. She's here. Can't get wrong, guys.
You know what just happened to me, Steve? Right now,
What?
it,
What?
Google,
You fell off your
Google,
chair.
sorry,
You fell off your chair.
Google, no. Google decided to do a verification on my laptop. I can't go on Facebook, can't go on Gmail. I've just spent 5 minutes verifying me.
Well, there you go, guys. She's been on the chin again. I thought I was
I
back, like, all scruffed up here, you know. Uh,
I ha-
look at
I
me, look.
haven't been. I haven't had time to drink. I haven't been drinking. One is too busy working to be drinking. Thank you.
Oh, right. Okay, okay. Okay, I'm going to let you go speak to your fans of yours.
Thank
And,
you.
while I find a picture, guys, don't forget that picture of her drunk.
Teetotal today. Teetotal.
See,
Chin chin.
she's got something in that cup, guys.
I've got
I'll be
look,
back in the
tea.
photo in a minute.
Tea. Nothing in there. Just
It's something
tea.
in that tea. It's something in that tea, guys, honestly.
There is
Gotta
nothing
watch
in that
out.
tea.
Right then,
Hello.
okay.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. How are you all? Welcome to Talking Live at 10. And you might be wondering, why so late? I am wondering why so late because I should be chilling out right now, doing absolutely nothing. And, but I'll let you in a little bit what was happening. I was not, first of all, I was not drinking. I cannot even tell you the last time I drank. It was probably a week ago. No, maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't remember when I had the drink. I am missing my G&T. I am missing my whiskey. I am missing my takeaways because I am working hard. Well, I'm kind of working hard. I am rather busy. But today, what happened today? I had a call. I was meant to have finished round about 5:30, and it was, you know, I thought, yes, perfect. I'm not going to do 8 o'clock. I'm going to do 7 o'clock. Steve authorized it, and it was perfect. Then work needed a favor. So I thought, okay, I'll just be able to squeeze in at 7 o'clock. I was on the drive 7:03, but then Mr. Beer was busy. He did not have time for me to go live, so I am blaming him for that. And then I would have been about 10-15 minutes late because one has to do a little spruce up. And then there was a possibility of me doing this talking live at 8 o'clock, but I couldn't because the care company called me in emergency. I'm one of the emergency staff that when all else fails, they have to sort of rely on bank staff to see if they can help us out. So I changed this entire evening schedule to fit one 30-minute call because that sweet individual is worth it. And I like to actually say thank you, Steve, for helping me out tonight because you're very accommodating. You understand how challenging the care industry is, and you accommodated me tonight so wonderfully. Thank you so much, because um, carers don't get paid well, and not a lot of people can afford to work full time as a carer and provide their living, a daily living. And I tried doing full time. I thought I really liked the work. I tried it full time, and no, it's not affordable. So I had to resort back to, what I do best, my commercial driving and everything else that I do with it. So today, so there are 2 weeks ago. Wasn't it 2 weeks ago, Jem? I'm getting in trouble. You're meant to be on my side. or was it just a few days ago? I can't remember. I'm not admitting to anything. My dearest friend lets me down today. Shows me up, she does. so so today, I thought, I just have to fit that individual in. We're trying to help everybody, aren't we? We are trying to accommodate this old dear, and we're helping the company that is managing really, really well to help. You swine! Surely that's not me. Steve, I do not do that.
Guys, honestly,
That is so funny. But have
but
you
it's
noticed?
definitely a guys, definitely a.
Well, the dress looks familiar. And have you noticed how that bottle has got no damage at all? Everything else is scattered. And that alcohol bottle is, you know, is not broken, it's safe. Oh, I love it. One time I was having a whiskey, and we were having a right laugh, and my whiskey glass just went that way. And I was like, I went into all twisty mode just to save that little sip. You cannot waste the golden nectar. You cannot. Anyway, so I did a bit of, a good deed. Steve helped me out. And then, you feel good. You feel like you've done something for the community, and you've done something for yourself. You've made everybody happy. And when you make others happy, you become happy also. It's all good stuff. So, today's episode, excuse me, this has got nothing to do with alcohol. I am not drinking alcohol and coughing away. This is just a dry cough, and I thought, actually, if I do have some whiskey, it might just help me out. So I will have a little whiskey a bit later on, but I am waking up so early for a bit of overtime work, and I cannot be drinking. See, I am such a good girl. Steve just puts all kind of labels on, you know. But I will say, on my 30th birthday, I remember how the night started, and to this day, I don't remember anything. But I do know I made a very hot, passionate love with my husband. But I can't remember all of it. My birthday was like so good. I really enjoyed it. And I had well of a time. And I looked good. And I felt good. And I drank so much. It was red wine and then sambuca. And I drank, I don't know how many sambucas. I remember going home, and apparently my hubby undressed and everything, and things happen, and I don't remember a thing. I still don't remember, but I know it was a good night. Did not last long. I remember how passionate that night was, but I remember just a glimpse. But I know it went on a lot longer. I just know. I just don't remember. And to this day, I'm like, oh my God, that was like the best night ever. And I can't remember any of it. But confession's over. So one can resonate with that girl out of the car. I wasn't completely legless, but I had no idea who undressed me. I have no idea who took my shoes off. Anyway, moving on from the drunken state, I am missing alcohol because I am too busy to drink. And next time I drink, whenever that will be, I really want to get drunk. I just feel like it because I haven't I worked so hard and I'm not drinking. That's not on. It's Friday night, right? So today's episode, my dear friends, is about talking professionals. And there's a reason why I am talking about this topic. You know, you might have heard of Amanda on Heart AF, the charity that has been running today. And she did a three-peak challenge along with there are two other Smooth Radio and another radio that was promoting this event. And I think they've raised over 2 million. I was expecting it would go a bit more than 2 million, but I won't log on and check everything. But it was really good effort. And that charity is all about, you know, how the Heart FM supported that charity. Amanda, she's a well-known person, and she's not a climber, but it was to assist small charities. And if you think about it, care work is a little bit like charity. I'm associated with two companies. I won't mention their names. I don't know if that would be allowed or not, but one is solely associated with Crossroads, not Crossroads, with charity, and the other one is private. I don't really know how all of this works, but small companies and small charities do so much. And you think, why is it that we are in a developed country? We cannot get our politics right. We cannot get our medical health industry right. It's not really spot on, is it? Excuse my coughing. I have a really dry cough, dry throat for coughing. And why is it? And we always, don't we always? I mean, I was having a really nice conversation with my dearest friend. And we always sort of, you know, she shared her frustrations like, you know, you are expecting answers out of professionals, aren't you? You think that you would go there and sort it out. But no, it takes charities. It takes ordinary human beings to bring a solution to start with them, then their local community, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, doesn't it? So if you think about it, and this is what I really want you to focus, everybody looks up to a person who comes across as a professional, who has a title, I am an expert in this. And you are then saying, okay, you know, I've gone through all the channels, the GP, the hospital, the consultant, the experts in this field and that field, but yet you don't have an answer. It is still trial and error. So even if you're going to the professionals, even when you go to professionals or your GP, what happens? Let's try this tablet and see what that does. Let's try this tablet and see where we go with that, you know? But you're the one who's going to have to do the feedback to the GP or the consultant and say, this is working, this is not. And then they say, okay, we do more of what works and less of what doesn't work. It's, you know, if I knew what medications to give myself, why would I go to a professional? Makes you question though, doesn't it? Let me just turn the notifications on my PC. So how much trust do we have in the professionals? So in politics, for example, politics in the UK cannot get a decent leader to run the country. To be honest, when was the last time we had a decent, honest, and a leadership that was focused around integrity and taking the country forward? I feel like we are, on a continuous decline. We just keep going back and back and back. We are not moving forward. But politicians are experts because they've studied the law. They understand all the constitutional rights and regulations, and they're expert in all kind of different fields and leadership. But yet, our there is no peace and harmony in our country. There is no leadership. There's so many professionals, but nobody's providing the solutions. So although, like Heart FM are doing marvelous job, along with thousands of other charities. Look at the Alzheimer's Society, how much money they raise. Look at the cancer research, how much money do they raise? And we've been raising money for years and years and years, and it takes an ordinary human being to highlight little problems of your life and to bring about the change. So the reason why I'm talking about this, and well done to Amanda Holden, who's done the 3 peak challenges. I've only climbed two of them, Snowdon and Ben Nevis, and she's done all 3 of them in 24 hours. Well done to her. And this was all, I don't know if you've been listening, because I do a lot of driving, so I have been following Amanda's progress. And some of the stories, if you have been listening, they're like, mothers who lose their child early. Like, they are meant to be delivering a child and the child is not alive. And a mother is on a paternity leave, but there is no baby. That really touched my heart. We and it's taken that individual, that pain, that suffering, that something, that pain ignited something and said, and one of the lady I was listening to, she said, I am not gonna let my dead child be forgotten. His name is James. He's not going to be forgotten about. And she's done, the couple have done the whole charity in raising awareness, the pain that a parent goes through when the baby is no longer alive. But it takes an ordinary human being. And I really want you guys and gals to focus on. It only takes an ordinary person. It doesn't take a mathematician and somebody who's got 1,000 degrees and PhDs, or who's an expert in leadership and all of that. It takes a normal individual to create that huge change. So I want to mention a little bit about a publishing house that we had to put on pause for a few months because we've had, she's done. Thank you very much, Steve, for sharing all that. Do follow her because it is worth listening. It's worth listening to the number of small charities that make a difference to your community. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, "Oh, Angela, you've gone all Jesus on me." Actually, I was always a church-going girl. I may not appear to be a church-going girl, but I love churches. And one of the things I always say, I don't go to church because I am a Bible basher or I'm a religious person. I love going to church because I love to sing hymns. I feel so at peace when I go to the church. And I feel like I have achieved so much and I want to, without distractions, offer my gratitude for all the great things in my life. And I do believe in spirituality, and I feel so in one with my soul and with the universe, and I believe in God, and I believe all things, are connected, and we are all connected. I believe in prayers, I believe in healing, I believe in the word. So does that make me religious? I don't know, but my religion is kindness. It is all about kindness. And if you think about it, all religion, their fundamental, the foundation of each religion is love and kindness. It doesn't matter what religion you follow. It's all about love and kindness, is it not? So I haven't gone Jesus on anybody. It's just, I think if you want to exercise love and contribute towards your local community, you need to be connected with your local community hubs, which traditionally were churches. It was a church and a pub. They were both community hubs. So pub is a public house. Church is, in a way, a public worship place. They are both public domains where local people gather to exchange information, to provide aid and give you support and comfort. This is where people get to know the local community. Before we started doing all that moving around and traveling here, there, and everywhere, neighbors were friendly and they helped each other. Neighbors knew what was happening on their street and the local community. Why? Because everybody went to the church, everybody went to, the pub after, and all that, kindness and welfare of each other was exchanged over a drink or otherwise. So, community is very, very important because we are social creatures. We need to talk. We need to share experiences. We feel good when we help. It is beautiful when you give money or do a good deed. You're not just helping that person. You're actually creating that good feel good factor within yourself. Some people give because it feels fantastic. But there has to be a balance in everything, otherwise you'll be out of pocket, right? Or you will get stressed and you won't be able to feel well and deliver. So it's very, very important to be balanced, to stay balanced in all things, apart from making love, that is. I always add that. I think balance in everything apart from loving. There has to be just nothing. Love your neighbor. Absolutely. Love your neighbor. I believe in that. But that does not mean you give yourself to your enemies so they can destroy you. You have the intelligence to dissect yourself from people who bring you harm. So this is where I differ. It's very, very important for you to keep your environment very, very lovely and calm and peaceful. And people who destroys your peace, you need to dissect from them. So that is where it's contradictory. Love your neighbor. What, under what condition? All conditions? No, I cannot love my neighbor under all conditions. People who are bad for you, they need to be out. You forgive them, hold no grudges. You just need to dissect yourself. That's just my thinking. God gave me the intelligence to think for myself. God didn't say you must do this, but God gives us choices. That's my personal opinion. So, going back to professional professional status that people use. I'm an expert in this because I've talked to 1,000 people and now I'm an expert. You must have seen, I do a lot of online work and I am bombarded by experts. And if you have, and this is quite accurate, if you have studied, let's say if you've interviewed, 200 people, you can actually portray yourself to be an expert in a certain field. But this is why people do PhDs. If it was so easy to be an expert, then there'd be no room for PhDs and things like that. But do PhD holders bring solutions? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That has been proven so many times. Just look at the the health field, our NHS. There are PhDs. Are they providing solutions? Is NHS thriving, and are we giving them 10 out of 10 reviews? No, we are not. We're all miserable about NHS and our politicians, and we are complaining all the time. There is no leadership, and we're complaining about that. So, what do ordinary human beings do? They take matters in their own hand. Never mind what is happening elsewhere. Let's take charge of our life. Let's, get the priorities right in our own life and seek out in you what is important. For me, everything about me it starts with the self. Get to know yourself, get to know what you want, create boundaries, and the more discipline you have about yourself, the better and happier you will be. And it's very easy because it pisses everybody else off, the fact that I've stuck to my guns. And that's the more reason why you need to create boundaries so other people can leave the hell alone. But they will still try, right? So, professionals. Today, I feel like, just like those individuals, there were some minors, who were children who were carers. I know even one of my ex friends, my ex-boyfriend. I hate saying that. I don't like using the term boyfriend, and I don't like referring to exes because if I'm talking to them, they are now friends. So one of my friend that I have been intimate with, he raised his siblings from the age of 10 because which ex, sweetheart, I can't give you a number. I don't even know. The list just goes on, and I can't keep up with the count. I've given up, darling. Whatever number he was. One doesn't count. One just carries on moving forward. There's no point looking in the past and counting about it. Gosh, that's I don't know if I've reached that number. That'd be telling, wouldn't it? How rude. I must on Sunday confess some more. So he was basically a minor caring for his siblings, and it was actually local church community. It was some of the volunteers or somebody in their local church found out about what was happening to that family, and they realized they've actually had no food. The children had no food because one of their relationship broke. Parents split up. Kids were neglected. They weren't fed. They weren't dressed properly, and the eldest kid, who was my ex, had to basically look after. But the trauma that he endured came out when I, assisted him. And when we became close, the trauma was just seeping out of him. It was quite unbelievable, really. I didn't share this crossroads on my Facebook. Bear with me for a minute. And one of the young chappies, he was talking to Amanda or the radio, and he said, they were talking about how little charities, excuse me, assist individuals like that child who has been caring. And if people like him didn't get support, it would be just chaos. And there's another lady who was talking about, you know, she has a domestic abuse background, and domestic abuse. So she's like, at one point, she was thinking of going back to her abuser because her abuser kept on saying, "There's no way you can live without me. There's no way you can cope without me. There is no way." Blah blah blah. And it was because of this charity they still keep in touch. Does your child need this? Does your kid's gone to college and blah blah blah? There's some of the stories you hear. You know, the number of charities that, you know, Amanda has supported from her 24-hour challenge is just amazing. And that is, you know, if somebody's got a status now, she is a known figure. You know, she's a celebrity, and if they can make a difference and highlight those little communities that do so much, when really it's our government who should be doing that. It's our NHS who should be doing that. Our GPs should be better equipped and be doing that. No. So my message to you today is, don't look at professionals for help. If you can't find a solution, find a solution, create a solution. And this is where writing comes in. Now, we have been a little bit inactive, Publishing House England. Partly, so much has happened. You know, Jane and I, our world tilted upside down. In the past year, on both sides of our families, they either have taken, you know, the senior members of the family need the support that happens, like that changes your life and the changes the life of people who the seniors are seeking to help. What I'm trying to say is there was a need for caring and other people to start coming in and looking after them. And when, you know, my loved one was close to their death cycle, my life turned upside down. I haven't worked properly for 2 years. You know, suddenly everything changed and I had to basically adjust. And it is absolutely amazing how much it affects you. And when you have nobody else to deal with it or nobody else to give you a hand, yes, I had friends close by, but there's nothing the friends can do when everything is put down on you to sort out. So we've gone through months of life-changing experience, from deaths in the family, deaths of friends, COVID, no work, you know, sacrificing so much, getting into debt because no money coming in and you're going into debt, and then relationships issues. You know, suddenly not only you've lost somebody, but you've lost your friend and your love and person you consider to be your lifelong partner. All of that. And then we really just had to put a hold on our Publishing House England until we are settled. So really, this is a celebratory month because it started September last year and it ended September this year. And October is a bit like settling period. Let the dust settle. And November, we are back in action. And what I was telling my, one of the one of our clients of Publishing House England will be, you know, it's a year's project. When you're so passionate about something, it affects you and you're frustrated and nobody's giving you answers. And this is where you have to see yourself as an expert, and you are then responsible for creating a change, because everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? Why did it happen to you? Maybe You needed to share that story for somebody else because we are all interlinked. All human beings are interlinked. You know, the universe doesn't operate on its own. The moon doesn't operate on its own. The sun doesn't. We are all interrelated. The plant cannot survive without me, and I can't survive without the plant. We are all dependent on each other. So, if you really are passionate about a particular subject, bring it to the table, connect with us, and we will help you write your story and help you publish your story. And if you just want to share an article on a particular topic and you think, I wish I had known this, there is so much content out there. I'm not one of those individuals who do things. Oh, write this and publish and market. No, it has to be a worthwhile solution. If there is no solution out there and you are the one, just you holding that key, you have experienced it and you have that inner knowledge, then write about it. Let's create a solution. Let's not rely on these experts who do not offer any help. And our system is also messed up. Yes, our system, there are loads of things that work. But look at how many charities that it takes individuals to raise funds for the charities so they can help the community. I really feel if we paying our taxes, all of these services should be included either in the NHS or in the, there has to be some kind of a system created for, okay, if you go through this, then you go here. Everything just piles on you, and you are having to, there are so many things in the caring industry that we take on board because there is no solution. So the caring company are not only just doing their work, but they're taking on the extra and trying to find the solution for this client and thinking, if you've never cared for anybody, it is worth doing just even an hour or 2 hours of volunteering time because everybody is going to get old and everybody may not have a family member who will help. And I kid you not, most people, when they're getting old, they are alone and their family are too far away. Family don't want to know. Family have their own issues. There is no money. So let's be very, very frank. If you really want to know the extreme side of life, do some caring work and find out for yourself. If you are already a carer and you feel like you have gained so much knowledge from your experience and you could help somebody, just like those individuals in the charities at Heart FM did. There's like this lady basically created a Facebook group. She said, I don't want other parents to feel like I am feeling. There was a parent who was talking about the suicide, that kid wanted to die that day. And the parent had no clue. And there was so much, the parent felt so ashamed and for not knowing and not understanding. So they started the charity. There are so many reasons why people are ordinary people like you and I, are creating the change because they are fed up. There are no answers. They don't know where to go, where to turn. There is so much information out there. It's confusing. It should be quite simple. When we are not well, we should go to our GP, and the GP should be able to say, okay, you need to speak to this company. There should be a pathway. There are no pathways. Why is it so many people with so many qualifications cannot put our country right, where we have solutions, not idiotic arguments in the House of Commons? I've said my piece. So, rather than relying on governments and so on, when people get together when people start to work together, when women support each other, when children support each other, when men support each other, you know, we can make a difference. Look at all these charities that are set by ordinary people, small charities, and it's amazing. Yeah, exactly right. You know, there are too many restrictions. There have been so many reports in the media over the last 18 months. This is Steve sharing that about charities hit by increased demand. Absolutely. Caring industry is part of that. About others struggling to fund their services as restrictions were imposed. Yes, as you know, there are so many children who do not have clothes. There's so many children who don't have food. There's so many girls who don't have, you know, the pads for their periods. There are so many women who often sacrifice to raise their children after domestic abuse crisis. Domestic abuse is so common. Domestic abuse is so damn common. Why is it common? Because communities are broken. Because if you go to the churches, they're empty. The religious places where people gather to help each other, they're empty. Our whole community system is broken down. Whether you're religious or not, let's create community hubs. So this is why I have got Jesus, like one of my friends has said. Um, your churches, your temples, your synagogues, they're community hubs. They are places where you can help each other, love one another. We shouldn't be, I mean, the planet is riddled with humans and animals, and yet there is so much loneliness. So, on behalf of Publishing House England, if you like to to share your story, we are doing a year project, and we will have, you know, no more than a certain number of clients because we both work full time and we have limited resources and we don't want to take on too much work. But we are interested in your stories. And if you like to write and provide a solution for other people, please get in touch with Publishing House England, with myself, or and my partner Jane Moore, who I will share the contact details. The email would be angelabspragg@gmail.com. Send us your story. Let's hook up. Let's talk. If don't look for other people to solve your problems. If you have more information than the expert, you need to write your story. We will help you write your story. So really, this is what Talking Life today's episode was all about. Ordinary people providing solutions, not the experts and people who have doctors written in front of them. And that is all I have to say. I hope all of you who are listening and who will listen will have a wonderful weekend. No matter what happens, keep to your boundaries, stay focused, have untold fun, and be naughty. And then you can always go someday and confess your sins, and everything will be all right. And drink if you're not working too hard. Like me, I don't know when it will be next. That's all. Steve, any comments, any feedback? And I've missed you.
Well, yeah, I think what you're saying is right. I have, I'm ambassador of two charities, but also I run one where I live, a stroke club. And when you're applying for, I've been applying for grants and stuff, and it's really difficult. They
Yeah,
you keep getting knocked back and everything, and they blame the COVID and they blame other things. But the trouble is, some charities have actually closed,
yeah,
and charities have to go out there and try to collect money
yeah,
or do things fundraising and everything. And sometimes people don't even come to the fundraising events because you haven't got the money.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
so,
Yeah,
the government and needs to kind of like instead of something the other day, um, every PM it goes to every PM that goes to the House of Commons on a Wednesday, right, gets £500, right, just to sit there.
Yeah,
Now, if you look carefully, you see half of them falling asleep,
yeah, yeah,
and that's
yeah,
your councillor. That could be
yeah,
your councillor, and they're supposed to be doing a job for you, and if
yeah,
they're falling asleep, are they doing a job? No, they're not.
exactly. And they are so-called the expert. We have no leadership. People who run, there's nobody running the country. The old system is running the country. The funds are seeping out. NHS is shambles. There are so many good doctors and nurses. I'm not criticizing the people who work, but even today, I mean, if you go to A&E, 5 hours minimum, 12 hours is normal wait.
Yeah, I know.
Normal wait.
I know.
It's like you go to any other country that is supposedly undeveloped, that will never happen. You will never go to
I
be
know.
in Africa, in India. You will never go to a hospital and wait 12 hours. Never, never.
No, no.
It only
I was.
happens
I don't know
in
if
the
I told
UK.
you. Yeah, I don't know if I told you, but a few weeks ago I was on the floor 6 to 7 hours waiting for a blinking ambulance.
Yeah,
Right? Every hour I was ringing them up. When you come in, when you come in, when you come in, and
yeah,
they said, well, you know. And the trouble is, it's too. It's the NHS is messed up because I, it's not the NHS's fault. It's the government's fault.
yeah. Well, the thing is, when we are spending so much time criticizing the other government, the opposing, leaders, it's like, oh God, no, they should be arguing. They shouldn't be arguing. They should be creating solutions and
Mm,
taking the country forward. Nobody's doing that
mm,
because it's like the old saying, "Lions led by donkeys," and that is still true. There are
mm.
lots of lions in this country, and we are all led by donkeys, and that is basically it. And it's disgusting that we have to rely on normal people to raise awareness where they have sacrificed their time, energy, effort to bring solutions to people who are suffering. That is not a
Yeah,
society that I would say developed society. That is a very
no,
backward society. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I also think that carers are getting kind of carers and nurses. Their pay is a lot of rubbish. I know some carers who's on 11 quid an hour, but
Yeah,
and they really hard. Carers work really, really hard.
I
You
know.
know,
Yeah,
and
it's like even yeah.
it's tough, isn't it? It's really tough, and
Mm,
I think it's about time that they wake up and kind of
yeah,
like say, right, okay, what's going to be done? But they won't. They just
mm,
discuss it all the time in the House
yeah,
of Commons, and no one's going
yeah,
to get anywhere.
yeah.
You
But if
know?
you think if you think about it, like I'll give you a little window to care, and this is why after caring for my papa, this is why I contribute my time, and it's definitely not for the money. I can give half an hour of my time, and it's basically a fiver. I don't do that for money. I do it to support the caring industry. So when I mean to in order to hoist a person from one place to another place, basically hoisting and getting them ready for bed is fiver. You can't even get a meal for a fiver. This is what the carers get paid to
Disgusting.
operate a whole
Yeah.
machinery and
It's
to move the person from three different locations and make them ready. Half an hour costs you a fiver. That is the society we live in. I mean, privately, if you
mm,
were to hire somebody, that would have cost them 50 quid. But carers,
yeah,
because a lot of carers that care for people, they are not in it for the money. They get peanuts. They take some of their time out to help that industry. And this is exactly what I
yeah.
am doing. Today, the whole schedule has been changed so I could help that care company for 30 minutes. I had to change everything. And thanks to you, Steve, for understanding that. Because, like radio is important and this is an important platform and everything should be running timely. But then
No, it's
you've got
okay.
this.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Thank
know,
you.
at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you do a wonderful job caring, and people come first. You got a message here from Gemma.
Yeah. She's my bestie. She loves you. Gemma loves you, Steve. And she loves the fact that how you abuse my reputation of drunkenness.
Well, yeah, there you go. If you're a friend of hers, good luck, good luck. I wish you well. I do wish you well. Take her on a
Gem-
night out down Soho and just drop her down there. She'll be okay.
Gemma, he's being horrible. Back me up. Yeah,
um,
Gemma is saying I had to wait 2 hours for an ambulance for my son for head injury. It was quicker driving straight to the
it's bad, isn't
hospital.
it?
Yes. So bad. Even for my papa, when he fell, when he was ill, I had to wait. I had to wait. I, I used my body to hold my papa in position, and my leg was giving way. I had to stand still like that for 1 hour, Steve. 1 hour. And I kept calling. I said, I can't feel my leg now. I can't feel my leg. You have to come over. And you know who helped at the end
Mm,
was Princess Alice Hospice. They sent staff because I couldn't feel my legs. You know,
yeah,
it, it,
yeah.
it
I
it's
just think
horrendous.
it's disgusting. Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Our country is not advanced. We are not moving forward. We are going so down. It's unbelievable. This is why people need to get together. People need to form communities. People need to unite. Because if you're going to rely on this, stupid, argumentative government, and I don't care which party you support, they're all the bloody idiots. We are not progressing forward. Our country is going back.
Well, I'll let you the secret. I'll let you the secret. I
Yeah.
don't support. I don't support any of them because at the end of the day, you know, you know, they're all rubbish. And you can't trust any of them, can you?
Yeah, but then, the bad side of that is, Steve, it's like to me, I will still vote, not because I support something, I do tactical voting because they're all idiots, but you have to pick somebody and you might as well pick the best idiot, so to speak, or the
Well,
better
that's the
idiot.
Raven Looney. That's the
Yeah,
Raven Looney party. Isn't it?
exactly. Yeah.
Vote,
So
vote for
why
them.
not? Why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
vote.
If everybody, if people unite, when people unite, they make the right choices. At the moment, when people are all over the place, government do what they like because they can. So
Yeah, yeah. Well,
anyway,
£500, £500 they get paid for going
yeah,
there, and you can see half of them. Have you ever no? But have you ever seen them when they're on their phones?
yeah,
Oh, and there's something going on, and they're on their phones and on their phones or half asleep, and they're getting £500 for 3 hours
exactly.
sitting there,
Yeah, 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 exactly.
and
And
they get
how
second over
much?
too. Don't start me off. Don't start me off.
Yeah, and how in that
What?
time, carers would have seen so many clients, and they wouldn't have got anywhere near pay wages for that. Nowhere near, you know. So,
Yeah,
and
because
everybody,
I have
everybody,
carers. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry, I have
everybody's gonna,
carers in.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go on, yeah.
Yeah, go on, go on.
No, no, go.
All right, I have carers in, and they get around about £11 an hour plus their mileage, and they say the mileage is a constant because I don't actually get the mileage or the mileage.
Nah,
You
nah.
know, you can,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And during the fuel crisis, when everything was going up, basically carers were doing at least 1 to 3 clients for free because
Mm.
nobody was covering the high fuel mileage. You know, your fuel
Well,
cost was still the same. So even I did, when I did do a whole day's worth, two of the work that I did, two clients I didn't get paid for. That was the norm.
yeah.
And you don't see carers
Yeah.
ever going on strike, do you? You've got drivers and train drivers. Everybody's going on strike. Carers are too busy caring. Somebody should be speaking up for
Look,
them.
look. Before you go on your bottle, because I know you got your bottle there, and you're waiting for it. Um,
I'm not. I
you
need to go
know,
to
how
bed.
how
Get up early.
how do you how do you keep your drinking under control?
I don't have time to drink. I haven't drunk all whole week.
Yeah, yeah, she's an alcoholic. If you know anybody out there, you can put her up for about 6 weeks, lock her up in a cupboard or something. I'll be straight.
I've been so busy. I haven't bought whiskey for like ages, and I thought, oh, the other day I thought I'm buying a bottle of whiskey. This has gone far too long. I've been too busy working. I haven't been drinking.
I saw you
I'm,
the other day. You was at church, right? You
yeah.
were at church and you was on with that wine, weren't you? You were nicking the bread. I saw you, and you was on that communion wine, and you
No,
was
we haven't
flattened out
started
on the
yet.
altar,
No,
weren't you?
no, we haven't started yet. That's starting soon. The wine has been, we've been only eating the bread because of COVID. The wine hasn't happened yet, so I wasn't
Yeah,
getting drunk in the church. Talking about that,
she
our
was.
church
She
is
was.
going to
She was
start.
getting drunk in the church. She was honestly on the communion wine. The vicar, right? The vicar went away, and she went, "Oh yeah, let's have a little bit of wine. Try that one out." And she came out of church. You can see it all. She actually puts it on live. She has the church service on live, and she can see it crippling out. Like when they march out together, and they go and they sing a song, don't they? Lord's worship, and she's there going, "Oh, I want to go home." God, you got to have a laugh, ain't you?
I feel like you were there.
I was, I was. Did you see me? Did you see
Our
me?
church is going to
I
produce
was about.
their own gin and our gin. Our church is bringing out their own brand gin. See, we're very
Have you got
civilized in our
monks here?
church. Hey?
Have you got monks here? Have you got monks?
No, no,
Are there monks here? No.
no,
So are you
no.
getting your gin?
I'll find out and I'll tell you about it.
I think probably to keep an eye on and that. Well, yeah. She does, Gemma. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you. We
What
could
did she
share
say?
things, right? You can contact me anytime you want and we can share things. She is a right alcoholic, honestly. She needs help.
I wouldn't be able to
Hang on,
do
I'll show
half
you.
the
I'll show
things.
you.
I don't know why I'm defending myself. I don't need to defend myself. She has a drink buddy to keep. Drink buddy. You're a lightweight, Jan.
She's funny. She's funny. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. She's got to go to bed because her head's killing her because of the drink she's had today.
No, I have. Oh,
Yes.
God. Well, I want to say
You know
thank
what
you,
she does?
everybody.
You know what she does? She goes around, right? She goes around to all her clients and she goes, "Hello, have you got any gin there? Have you got any wine there? Or you got any rum?" And they go, "Yes, my dear. Don't worry. Instead of a cup of tea, I'll give you a glass of this."
If any of you believe Steve, you're obviously no friend of mine.
Anyway,
Anyway,
thank you,
thank you
folks.
so much, everybody, and I'll see you next Friday. Hopefully, 8 o'clock, Steve.
And and sober. See you
And
later.
no, I don't want to be sober. I can't go another week be sober. No, I don't think that's right. No,
Okay.
hopefully next week I'll have GNT. I'm dying for one. I've got to wait another week now.
Oh, you know what Gemma just said before you go?
What?
And tell you, I'll show you. I thought I noticed you. Angela is Sister Mary Clarence. Sister Atlas. Yeah, she is. Yeah, you got it in one.
Jem, you and I are going to have serious words later.
Bye bye, everybody. See you later. See you later, Angela.
Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, Gemma. Bye.
Bye, Jem. I'll leave the studio.